My son Jordan was an amazing young man. He was a larger-than-life kid. He had big dreams of being a professional athlete. He was a great student. He had a very diverse friend group. It's kind of cliche to say, but he really was an all-American young boy. On Thursday, March 24th, Jordan was coming back to my home. Jordan's mom and I had been divorced for many years. That week he happened to be at his mom's. He was coming to my house early because we were going to Florida for 2 weeks for a family vacation on Friday morning. At 10:15 Thursday night, he was wheeling his Florida bag into my house, and I just had passed him out on the patio and just said, "Hey, I'm heading to bed. It's getting late for me. You're going to get up. I'll catch you tomorrow." At the time he was wheeling his bag and I happened to run into him, he had literally just responded to a friend request by a young lady named Danny Roberts on an Instagram account. And her message to Jordan was simply, "Hey." It basically starts out as you can imagine any other conversation. How are you? What do you like to do? Where are you from? What school do you go to? She had just convinced Jordan that she was just a normal, everyday, average girl from the South. And until about midnight, when she decided she was going to ask Jordan if he wanted to play a sexy game. And Jordan, at first, even said, "Hey, is this some sort of scam?" And she said, "No, it's just a picture exchange. You send me, I'll send you a picture of me. I can go first if you want. And then you send me a picture of yourself nude. And then we'll just exchange pictures and we'll set them to view once and delete, and you won't know where we'll see them anymore." And it went on for a little while, over an hour for sure, of her trying to convince him to do this. And he's like, "No, I have a girlfriend and I feel kind of sketch doing it. What if it's a scam?" Eventually she sends the first nude image of herself, and then Jordan sends a nude image of himself. And when he did that, Jordan then realized that it was a scam. And that happened a little after midnight. From about 12:15 going forward, it was constant threats and pressure, high pressure situation for him to pay money. And he's like, "I don't have any money, I'm just a high school kid." They wanted $1,000 originally. They renegotiated over some time and they came up with $300 was the amount that she was going to accept from him. Jordan thought that was going to be enough. He did what he was told. He paid the money. And then 1 minute later, Danny Roberts came back and said, "Hey, I have this image of you uploading into Google right now. It's at 55%. I need another $800. And Jordan was like, "Well, I thought we had a deal. I paid you the $300. I don't have any more money. I certainly don't have $800. She started doing countdowns. You have 10 seconds to figure it out. 10, 9, 8. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Jordan had zero time to stop and think, to breathe, to process any of it. And he tried everything he could do to get out. Unfortunately, at 3:44 in the morning, Jordan sent a message to his girlfriend apologizing, said, "I made a big mistake and I have to pay myself. And I love you," to his girlfriend. And then that same minute, he texted his mother, "I love you." And then at 3:44 in the morning, he shot himself in his bedroom. It was horrifying. An image that I fell asleep to for a long time. Knowing what I know now, with the investigation, I've been able to read the transcript, and what's in that transcript is literally terrifying. It's everything you can ever imagine times 10, and most adults wouldn't be able to process that sort of pressure and anguish and threats, let alone a 17-year-old kid or a 14 or 13-year-old kid. They were vicious. They had zero thought about Jordan and his life or what was going to happen or what wasn't going to happen. They wanted him to pay, and eventually they wanted him to die. After he messaged his girlfriend and his mother, he went back onto the Instagram board and says, "You win, bro. I'm killing myself right now because of you." And their comment to Jordan was, "Good, do it fast or we're going to make you do it. I swear to God." sheriff called, it was Monday, I believe, the sheriff himself called us and said, hey, we don't normally do public announcements on suicides, but I think this case is a little bit different. Would you be interested in doing a public announcement about what happened to Jordan? And we said absolutely, because at the time we really didn't know if it was a kid down the street or if it was somebody at school or if it was somebody from over the pond, right? We had no idea where this perpetrator could be. So we felt that it was important to let the public know, because we didn't know what it was. So we did a press release with our local news and newspaper and just said, hey, Jordan was a victim of a crime called sextortion, and this is why he took his life, and this is what it is. And within the week, I received dozens of messages from people that are loosely in my social circle that I knew. And all had reached out and said a couple things. One, don't tell anybody, but two, this happened to us. But we don't want anybody to know. So I thought to myself, man, if all these people are just right here telling me this because it's such a personal, private thing, that there must be tons of this stuff going on. And, 3.5 years later, it's an epidemic. Fast forward about 7 or 8 months later, the FBI did a full investigation and they ended up locating these guys. And they authorized 3 federal indictments for 3 different Nigerian men. And they put together a team and they executed their search warrants and made arrests on all 3 individuals. These predators are very good at what they do. And these young men that perpetrated my son learned how to do this online just like anywhere else. You could Google it, you go on YouTube. They provided scripts on how-tos, what not to do's, how to set up the money. All the videos are there, and that's how they learned how to do it. Victims like Jordan and some of the other victims that we know are all very educated. They're all very athletic. They have this persona. They have this feeling that their life is up here and they're a pillar of their communities. So when the extortionists are trying to get what they want, they're using those points as pain points for the victims. We're going to ruin your life. We're gonna tell everybody that you have naked pictures of me and I'm only 16. That's CSAM, right? That's child sexual explicit material. It's a felony. So we're going to turn you into the police if you don't do this. They're going to take your scholarships away. You're never going to make it on the basketball court or the football field again. So they use all those things against the victims. And what they do is they emotionally manipulate them to think that their whole life as they know it, as what they think it is over. What they don't know, because they don't have the frontal cortex development and or the life experience to know that their life is not over. Their life might be over for about 36 hours while they sit in their room without their phone, and his girlfriend breaks up with them for a week and he loses the car. But after that, it's going to be a figment of our imagination. We probably would have been laughing about the situation over a beer on his 21st birthday in June this year. I guarantee it. Just in sextortion, financial sextortion alone in this country in the last 4 years has been 38 suicides by young boys. And so that's way too many. And that's reported. How many is it really? It's probably 10 times that amount. We are putting young people in a position to have to make very, very adult decisions on a regular basis. They don't deserve that. I have to apologize to kids all the time because when I begin my presentations, I just want to apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're in this spot, but unfortunately you are. I tell people all the time, these phones that we have here, we give the entire access to the world in the palm of our kids' hands, right? Our kids have access, and more importantly, the world has access to them right here, the whole thing. You're going to give your 14-year-old daughter access to the whole world while she's in her bedroom at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night? You're comfortable with that? Have you thought about that? That's what I want Jordan's legacy to be. I want parents to think. I want kids to feel comfortable coming to their parents. I want to pull the rug off of this ugly thing that's happening so people start talking about it and not keeping it quiet, because keeping it quiet is landing us with 38 suicides just from sextortion, right? We have to pull the covers off this thing.